Hey everybody, let's do a quick sports talk. So football season is over, right? Super Bowl's been played, Eagles have won, Jalen gets a ring, and college sports is in a lull from a football perspective. Basketball is in high gear. On the football front, we still have 40% of the guys that entered the portal that have not exited. Now, some of them have signed since the semester started, which means that they may still be and are probably still in school at their current school, but may have gotten cut off from all access to things associated with athletics, just regular students. Okay, those who did not sign or have not signed are on mama's couch. So they have new dynamics coming into the April portal, in addition to there's just been a new crop of folks already in D1 entering the portal. You're going to have JuCo players that are trying to enter into D1 football because now they have the ability to have new 4 years available to them to pursue any D1 life that they might wish to pursue. You also have D2 and D3 players, at least one of whom has filed suit and says, hey, I'm not in D1. I should have the full 4 years of eligibility at the D1 level to maximize my opportunity around name, image, and likeness. That is still pending in the courts. We don't have a resolution on that, but there's all of this happening while the 40% of the guys are still in the portal. Got a new group of high school recruits coming in, either as January admits or fall admits, and so there's going to be a lot of infighting for a few slots. So, not great news, but that is what it is. But while we're waiting on that, and while we're waiting for the basketball portal to warm up, I want to talk about what could potentially happen to guys who do accept scholarships and who are offered dollars coming out of the collective. And so to do that, I'm proposing a fictional D1 recruit, and his name is Quintavious Marcus Russo IV, Quint. Okay, so Quint is, his mom is a middle school teacher, and she's been teacher of the year for several years. She teaches math, smart woman. Okay, his dad works as an operations manager at a major distribution center for consumer goods. He's a senior in high school, and he's a 3-star. So Quint excitedly has learned that he has gotten several offers from D1 at both the Power 5 level, Power 4 level, and Group of 5 level. So he's got some options. He's a cornerback, and that's important, okay, because of some things we'll talk about shortly. He's got plenty of upside. He's got plenty of intangibles. He tackles well. He's got good ball skills. He's fast. He's great at reading the offense. Nothing but positive things looking up for Quint. Okay. He's also a great student, so he's not going to have a problem getting into any place. Okay. So Quint did a little bit of research and learned that there is a portal that the NCAA publishes that has a link around NIL. And it talks about the various amounts of compensation that have for each level, for each position. Now, these are voluntarily reported stats, and so they aren't required to be reported. So this is not statistically accurate, but it is interesting. So Quint at a cornerback, the average compensation for a cornerback is $115K a year in Power 4. Okay? Now, that's the average. The mean is $3,000 a year. So you have a few rich deals that are really driving the average up. I said mean, I meant median. But the median is $3,000. So that means that there are a whole lot of people driving it up, but a whole lot of people at the bottom. If 3,000 is the median, that means half as many are above and half as many are below that 3,000 level. So 115 is the average, and he got a collective offer for $100,000. So Quint is excited. Year one, $100,000 offer from the collective. He's 18, and so Quint has already spent that whole $100,000 in his mind. He's got plans for it. He's excited. He almost is earning as much money this year as his parents earn. So parents are doing a little bit better than that. Okay, clearly middle class lifestyle, but $100,000 is a lot for an 18-year-old. So Quint gets the contract from the collective. Couple things working against Quint. First of all, he's an adult in training. He is 18 years old. He has no idea what he's looking for in that agreement, but he's ready to sign it because he wants that $100,000. Okay? His parents, though well-educated and doing well in life, are completely out of their depth. They know nothing about contracts. They know nothing about the law. That's not what they do. So, how can this go bad for Quint? Keep in mind, I'm always concerned about how the athlete ends up in this story. Okay? In the ecosystem in which he sits, how's the athlete end up? So we're going to explore this more because there's a lot in these agreements that I think you'll be interesting for you to understand and for you to share with, athletes that you know or their parents as they're starting to go through this process. So how can this go bad for Quint? Just a couple ways. First, if Quint gets no advice and counsel from a lawyer who knows how contracts work, Quint's going to find himself in a bad shape. Having looked at a couple of these agreements, they will blow your mind, some of the stuff that is in these agreements. So Quint needs advice from a lawyer who knows how business contracts works. He doesn't need a personal injury lawyer. He doesn't need a criminal defense attorney. He needs someone that's familiar with business contracts. If he doesn't get that and he signs this agreement sight unseen, Quint's going to find himself in a bad spot. Okay. Number two, Quint doesn't realize that $100,000 pre-tax is really about $70,000 at best post-tax, and Quint's got to pay taxes. Okay, so he spent $100, but really maybe he'll get $70 in his hands after taxes. So that will be a problem if Quint doesn't know how to navigate that. Also, just with respect to a couple things that might be in the agreement, okay, if that contract is terminatable for convenience, either party can walk away at any time. Not a good look. Quint could find himself in a bad spot. If it includes a release, also a bad look. He could find himself in a bad spot. So we're going to explore this later, especially because we know that in addition to the 4 guys that were already in the cornerback room, they have recruited 2, and they've gotten 2 from the portal. So it's 8 guys competing for these 2 slots. We'll see how it turns out for Quint. We're going to talk more about it since we've got a little bit of lull and before basketball kicks off. Let me know what you think. As always, peace.